Hello and good morning. Welcome to Eyes of Faith with Michael Roy. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in to this broadcast. I pray your week is going well. I pray you're looking forward to a great weekend. Of course, it's Father's Day weekend. So, hey, children, listen up. I pray that you are going to celebrate your father. You're going to honor him because he's worthy to be honored. Before we get too deep into the message, let me ask you a question. Have you subscribed to Eyes of Faith with Michael Roy? If you have not, please subscribe to Eyes of Faith with Michael Roy. I would greatly appreciate your subscription to help me broaden the scope of this program to help us reach as many people as possible with the good news of Jesus Christ, who celebrate the wisdom of God in creating and establishing our families whom we love. So let me get right into it. My question is, has America weakened its opinion of dads? Has America caused dads to become irrelevant? I don't know. I'm speaking off the cuff. So our culture has in some way, through various means, minimize the importance of having a dad, having a father. And let me add that I'm not talking about a sperm donor. I'm not talking about somebody who just got the hookup, had a baby, and they don't care whatever. That has happened and it's been all too prevalent within our culture. But let me say that God established a family. God created a man and a woman so there could be a husband and a wife, that they could come together intimately and produce children. And God's intention was that they would produce a godly seed, godly offspring that would spread the good news of Jesus Christ throughout this world. However, there are many who don't view things from a godly perspective. Many from the women's lib movement believe that, hey, you don't need a dad, you don't need a husband. A successful woman can handle herself. She can take care of her kid if she has a kid. Well, this is one of the things I really want to share from my heart, is that it doesn't matter how educated you are. You could be a doctor, a lawyer, a judge. You could be making tons of money, but to make a decision to have a child with the intent of raising a child without a dad is demonic, is evil, selfish, and wicked. Because God created the family. A child needs a mother and a father because they balance one another. Sometimes the mother is too soft or can be overbearing. Sometimes the dad is overbearing and needs that balance. But one thing we do know, children need their fathers. The promiscuity rate for young women is a lot higher when there's no dad around. That's without a doubt. The disrespect or disdain that a lot of young men have for women is because they weren't taught properly by their dad. And I'm focusing on this because this is Father's Day weekend. A lot of young men, including myself, were raised without a father, and I had to learn a lot of things by trial and error and how to, rightly appreciate and to deal with women and to respect them, to honor them. Now, I had, other role models, but I'm saying I think it would have been very important, as I've learned over the years, that when you have a father in the home who teaches you how to respect your brothers, your mother, your sisters, how to be a gentleman, those things are very important. But in this new culture that we're in, it seems to be irrelevant. It seems not to be important. You got to ask yourself, why is that? Why do we tolerate that? Why is that okay? And then, of course, people trying to redefine the family, saying a family can be two dads and children, two women and children. These are complicated topics, complicated issues. But I thank God, as the show says, Father knows best. Our Heavenly Father, Father God, He knows best. God created a man and He created a woman. And He called that man to teach his children, to lead his children. First of all, lead them to God and help them to understand their role, their position within the family. And they help mold and shape them as children to become, first of all, faithful followers of God and Christ, and to become productive, respectable, honorable, law-abiding citizens. This is what fathers inculcate into their children. This is what fathers make sure their children hear, receive, and understand. We're in a society where now the role of dad or father has been minimized. Some of it, is understood. You have someone who, as I said, is just a sperm donor, has no real interest in the kid. I can understand that position, but when you have a situation where maybe the parents aren't married, but the father is interested in being a part of the kid's life, we should never hinder that unless there's some illegal activity or something of that nature going on. But if you have a law-abiding individual doing what's right, has a great job, doing what he can, then no mother should prevent their child from having a relationship with their father. There's so much confusion within our culture regarding this issue. Some women taking a stance that if he don't want to be with me, then he ain't going to be with my baby. That's evil. That's wicked. And your child's going to hate you. Your child's going to hate how you raise him or her to be. I think many young men who have been forced to be raised by their moms, for the most part, if there's other positive male role influences, most men turn out to be okay. I would say that, I was raised primarily by a single mother, and, I turned out, quote unquote, okay. But, there's still a lot that I've had to learn and am still learning, because I didn't have that father figure in the home. I had father figures around me, grandparents and uncles, what have you. But there's nothing like having that inspiration of a dad in your corner, on your side, whether it be to chastise you, to show you how to ride a bike, drive a car for the first time, help you with your homework, and just the pride of your dad at the basketball game, your dad at your play. These things are important to the character and spirit of a child. I'm just appealing to especially the younger generation, those, say, under the age of 40. You're raising young children, especially if you are married. There's difficulties in marriage, yes there are, but it's important that you work together as parents to make sure that you're giving the children the best opportunity they can. You're giving them all the love and nurture that they can, because they can see the benefits of having a mother and a father. Now, there's situations where the parents aren't married, they live in separate places. You still should work together. You should still give your child the opportunity to experience the love, compassion, and the interaction of both parents. Mothers, don't run down your dad, talk bad about the kid's dad in their presence to make them feel a certain way about their father. If he's a bad character, they'll find out. Don't put your kid in a situation where he has to take your side. It's not his fault that your marriage didn't work. It's not his or her fault that your relationship broke up, if there was one. Our culture is feeding our young people a lie, saying that a family is necessary, a dad is necessary, a dad is very necessary. Why? Because God said so. God created us, and God knows what we need. I'm telling you, I understand, because I grew up without a father. There's many days I wished that my father would have been around, but he wasn't. There were many days when I was ashamed. There were many days when, I was upset and frustrated at my mom because, I didn't have a dad. We, of course, were poor, had to go without a lot of things because of that. A lot of things that friends, relatives around me could afford, things they could go and do, I couldn't because, hey, with a single parent on welfare, couldn't do anything. Things kids were doing in school, learning to play instruments, piano, what have you, I couldn't go. Certain field trips, or a lot of kids were going on certain field trips that you had to pay for a day pass. I couldn't go because guess what? I ain't have any money. Now you say, well, who said your dad would have had a lot of money? I'm not saying it would have, but I think that two people working together could have come up with enough resources to make sure their children had at least a modicum of good experience in their school in their early years. I guess what I'm driving at this morning is I want us to make sure that we understand that God has put men and dads at the forefront of the family and at the forefront of their children's lives to be a model of how to serve God and how to live in this world before them. Let us as a culture, let us as people of God stand for the biblical pattern of fatherhood that God has established. I'm not talking about worldliness. I'm not talking about all the other stuff. I'm talking about us learning how to live the way God calls us to live and raise our children in fear and the admonition of the Lord our God. I'm appealing to you mothers. Maybe you got a divorce. Maybe your child was born through a one-night stand. Maybe it was a relationship that went wrong and y'all didn't get married. Please, 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 don't let the anger and bitterness with their father hinder their relationship with him. Give them that opportunity to get to know their dad and to find out who he is so that they'll have the opportunity to make the decision for themselves, so they can be whole, that they can understand who they are, because we understand who we are through seeing both of our parents, get to know each of them. I know I've gone a little long, but Father's Day is coming up. And over the years, I've learned that Father's Day and Mother's Day are way different. Mothers are really, really celebrated. Fathers, not so much. Maybe, this video is a waste of time for some, but for others, I think it'd be very helpful. Maybe it'll help you see and understand from a dad's perspective and from a son's perspective what it means to a kid to have a father. If there's one of the things that, I wish could have been different, is to have the opportunity to have a relationship with my father. I know I speak for a lot of men. Now, a lot of us, we're all bottled up inside and don't want to share, but I think for most men it's true that we would have wanted a relationship with our fathers if given the opportunity. So, young dads, moms, hey, keep this in mind. Children need their fathers. Hey, this is Michael Rode Eyes of Faith, just trying to share a little bit from my heart about, what it means to be a father and the importance of having a dad. Hey guys, happy Father's Day. God bless you. I pray that your children will honor you and respect you and show you some love this weekend. Again, this is Michael Rode Eyes of Faith. I pray this message has been a blessing to you. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up. And please share this with your friends and relatives. Hey, God bless you and God keep you. In Jesus' name.